Welcome to Coffee and Tea with Aeson and Sandie. How are you, darling?
I'm good. How you doing? How's everybody?
Good. Good. It's been a busy day. It's been a good day. Things have been kind of popping and, content creation. That's fun. Did you ever think that we would be doing that?
No.
Me either. When I started out, I was just like, oh, it'll be fun. We can do it once in a while. And it's like, no. No, we can't. It's now everyday thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Times have changed.
Mm-hmm. It has. And, I think that's affected relationships too.
Relationships have. I don't think it has.
Okay.
Nothing affects relationships. Not women's liberation. Not politics. Nothing.
Well, here's why I say that. Now we get calls about why didn't he like my post? Why didn't he,
But in the old days, why didn't you like my photo? I mean, okay, we have social media now, which does change things. You're right, I'm wrong.
It moves it quicker, but you're right. The binary hasn't changed.
Right. The dynamic hasn't changed, but
Right.
people are more privy to other people's lives now because our lives aren't private anymore. We used to have a private life once. Once upon a time, no one knew where we were.
Uh-huh.
And if you couldn't get a hold of me on the telephone,
you had to leave a message.
The rotary phone, you couldn't even leave a message in my day.
Oh, okay.
When I was a teenager, what message? That was like Star Trek. That was like science fiction, we used to laugh. Like, can you imagine what it'd be like actually seeing someone and talking to them on the phone? Yeah, that'd be never happen. Yeah, like, sure. Yeah. Like, I had the rotary phone. And there was no call waiting. There was like the busy signal.
Right. Well, I remember our first phone in the house. Notice I said in the house. And it was a party line.
It was a fire alarm.
A party line.
Oh, a party line. I used to get those party lines every now and then. Some stranger would come in and like, hello.
Uh-huh.
I was like, who are you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That would happen by accident though, because lines would get messed up.
Oh yeah. Well, so, in today's world though, there's Snapchat, there's TikTok, there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's Twitter still. Yes, there are people still on Twitter. Granted, they're more like high-level professionals that go over to Twitter.
I don't have Twitter anymore.
Man's game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought I think social media is good and not. I'm ambivalent towards social media because what social media can also do, and I've noticed with me, is that suddenly in Facebook, for example,
right,
there's a memory photo that was taken of me 30 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever, right? And some people, I mean, a lot of people aren't tech savvy, so they don't get that's an old photo that got posted from memory, like from a memory thing.
Yeah.
And they'll call me and goes, oh, I saw my boyfriend with this girl, and I said, well, look at the date on the photo. It might be just a memory peak that happened 15 years ago. 9 times out of 10, that's what happens. So I think social media is kind of dangerous for relationships because pictures don't always tell the truth.
Right.
And you can have and you can't, if liking someone's post if you're in a relationship that's it. That can kill a relationship.
Well, it can, but it's not only the female that it kills the relationship for, because, man, I'll tell you, I'm scrolling on social media, especially TikTok. Right. And I'll sit there and watch me do it. I'm flipping through videos. Do you know what my thumb is doing?
Right.
It's hitting that like button.
Yeah. I wanted to tell you something about TikTok about getting more followers. Join whatever interest group you want to join. And watch their lives.
I am, but it really has nothing to do with my industry. This is weird. I'm on Water Talk.
It doesn't matter.
I know. I
As long
know.
as you get over 1,000 people, so you can go live and then collect
Exactly.
people in your industry. So that's what I did. I went on various lives. I,
Hmm.
I followed everybody in that live and joined in the conversation. So everyone trusted me and followed
Hmm.
me back. And eventually I got to over 1,000.
Right. But yeah, I'm in water talk, and I know that's a little sensationalizing, but I'm loving my water. I'm like, that has changed my fluid game completely. Um, so that's doing well there. But no, like people do not realize men have fat fingers. We have
Yes.
fat fingers.
Yeah.
This is a size 13
Right.
ring. When
Right.
they designed the freaking screen, they designed it for, the little dainty hands.
Even I have trouble, and I have
Yeah,
small hands, and I
yeah,
have trouble.
yeah.
Yeah.
So as we're scrolling through social media, especially TikTok, Instagram, those, however, get you in trouble quickly because you will like a video and not even know what it is. And it'll be like, you like such and such's video. Why'd you like their video?
Right.
I saw their video. I don't think I liked their video. Did I like their video? Did I like their post?
I see a dog, I see a cat, like, I see cookies, I
Yeah,
see, so, I hit like, I thought, oops, hang on, let me go back. Did I really like that? Who
yeah,
posted that?
yeah. But the other thing there to think of, and this is what people don't also get, is there's an algorithm to it. This is the
Right.
reason I'm over on Water Talk, is because I've liked so many water recipes and diet recipes. It starts showing me more of that. You know what I don't see? Joe's videos. I have to go look for Joe's videos. I have to go look for Joe's posts.
Joe has to send me, 'cause I saw your TikTok just last night and I liked it.
Right. Yeah.
And I made a comment.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know Joe was on TikTok.
Yeah, he is. He doesn't do it, he isn't posting like 4 times a day or 5 times a day.
Does
But I
he?
really find social media is also, and this plays into the psychology of it a lot, it's a lot like high school. Guys want to be popular, so they have a lot of followers or a lot of friends, so they look impressive. Because you always want to be with the popular guy. You don't want to be with the guy that has like 4 people on their Facebook.
Well, you know, um, I don't know how I got over 2,500 people on my Facebook. I don't know how I did that. I don't know how I did that. I
Easy.
think,
You
I
just
think,
added them. They added you.
I think because I was part of Star Trek,
Uh huh.
big community, and then the knitting
Uh huh.
community, and then the wine tasting community, and
Yeah. The
the
crochet community, which is a little
crochet,
cult.
yeah. And so I kind of got groups from everywhere,
Right.
right? And what was I going to say now? I forgot what I was going to say. Completely forgot.
Uh huh.
Complete um, followers, popular people. Now that's what I
Mm-hmm.
was talking about. So that, for example, the cookie woman, because I decorate cookies for every Christmas and every
Right.
holiday, just and send them to my friends.
Right.
And I started following a woman who was just new. She like maybe, well, she had over 1,000 followers because she was going live.
Right.
But she'd already been with TikTok for quite some time before she
Right.
got to that 1,000. And it was only 1,000, just over 1,000, because she just went live for the first time and I caught her.
Right.
And I was one of her OGs.
Mm-hmm.
And so a few of us joined in and we were watching her do cookies, and she was a particularly talented woman.
Right.
And now she's like right up there.
Right.
Hundreds, thousands of followers. She's popular. She's got merchandise that she does now.
Right.
I'm cookier and
Right.
whatever little sayings that she has, and
Mm-hmm.
and she's raking it in. And I don't have the energy or the stamina to be doing that. It was
Well,
decorate.
not only that, but by now hopefully she's hired some staff.
I don't think so. She's got a husband who happens to be an accountant, and she's got her daughter who lives in another state. She lives in Maryland. Her daughter lives in Arizona. Last I heard. No, she just does. She quit. She retired from being a kindergarten teacher.
Uh huh.
I think it was last August, and she's doing cookie decorating and has merch made, and that gets made. So
Right.
do it, and that's it.
Okay. But no, it's very interesting in general watching some of the social media stuff. But but in relationships, you have to realize that they don't social like you social. So I wouldn't be taking anything social serious.
That's what I tell all my clients.
Yeah,
Ignore social media. You cannot rely on what you see in social media.
no. I
You
mean,
know,
because on social media, everyone lives in $1 million home. They never have life problems. They never have little 3-year-olds that like to break their chains. They never, you know, it's either everything is great and grand or dead.
right.
Like
You know,
everything's just so traumatic and I'm so hard. Everything's so hard right now. And it's like, don't do that, guys. Don't be jumping into the social media pool and going, oh, well, he liked this girl's photo or he commented on this. Yeah, he commented because he had something to say. Have you ever noticed a man won't shut up? We wouldn't have shows if I shut up. But, so that I think has changed the dynamic. I also think it's changed the dynamic on your happiness level.
I think, you know, it has to a degree. I mean, I've been at this for so long. I was around before all the social media, so I can make the
Right,
comparison.
right.
I don't think so. I think the happiness level is still the same. Men and women have always cheated on each other at some point in time.
Right, but I'm talking about your personal everyday happiness level. I mean, if you're going through a rough patch, but you see all your friends buying the new house, the new car, the new this, the new that, and you're sitting there just barely struggling in your mother's basement, it's going to affect your mental status.
It will, because on social media, what can happen, like that was that case recently with a girl who committed suicide in the basement.
Yeah.
Um, uh, you can get, see, for example, and this is going off topic a little, just a fraction off topic.
Uh
Say
huh.
you're at school and you get bullied at school. This is
Okay.
before social media, pre
Right.
SM,
Yeah.
before SM, and you'd be bullied at school. You would come home. You'd get, well, hopefully, get the support of your family, your parents,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. You call a friend,
Mm-hmm.
actually talk to them mouth to mouth.
Right.
No texting, no nothing, right?
Right.
Really nothing wrong with texting, but a good chat is always a bit better. And you manage to sort of, for some reason, cope better.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're away from it all,
Right.
right out of it. You're not anywhere near it. No one can contact you.
Right.
You, like I said, you get all this support. Hopefully, I mean, suicide
Right.
happened when I was young, but you know, but
Not as
you,
much.
I don't know about not as much, but it was just a different dynamic.
Right.
Probably not as much. And now, if you get bullied at school,
Mm-hmm.
come home,
Mm-hmm.
it's still there.
Right.
There's no escaping it.
Yeah.
If that person's on social media and you got it on your phone, you got it on your computer, you got it everywhere, and
Right.
then you go and try and talk to your parents, and maybe they're not in a good mood, and they're not, and then you go to your room, and they're still getting it thrown at
Yeah.
you, and then your boyfriend might say something you think is offensive or hurtful, or he
Right.
liked the wrong picture in that moment, and that's it.
Yeah.
You're in the closet, with,
Yeah.
it's
It's different. It's a different thing. And I think that this is one of the things that takes people time to adjust to.
right.
Okay. And I don't think that binarily, meaning biochemically, we've adjusted to that type of adaptation. Now, I love social media. I love that, people are right there in front of us. We can stay connected. You go to Australia, you can still reach me. It
Right.
isn't like we need to arrange a time to have a conversation. Or what time zone is it there? I mean, but people get really trapped up at the speed of things. Like I just texted him, is he going to answer me? Yeah, when he wakes up, it's 4 in the morning where you are. He's asleep, or he didn't answer my email yesterday. And most men treat email still like letters. They'll answer it, they'll draft an email back. They'll sit there and think on it. They'll make sure it's grammatically correct and sounds good and Grammarly likes it. It's a process.
I get
You know,
calls like, I think my boyfriend wants to leave me, he wants to break up, and I haven't heard from him. How long have you not heard from him? 3 hours.
yeah.
What?
But considering, your parents, if they were traveling, if they got letters, it could be up to 2 weeks to a month.
Exactly. Exactly. I, too much game playing goes on.
Right.
Too many kind of dynamics go on, and
Mm-hmm.
too much trending goes on. Like what's trending? Like what's the definition of rejection trending? Like
Uh-huh.
ghosting is a new one. Oh, he's ghosting me. In my day, you know what ghosting meant in my day? Like
You were
someone
haunted.
was on top of you all the time, not
Right.
ignoring you. And now it means completely the opposite. They're
Mm-hmm.
ghosting me. How do you know they're ghosting you? He didn't respond to my text, which I sent him like an hour ago. Yeah, he might be in the bathroom. He might have diarrhea. He
He
might,
might be in the shower, or he might be like me that started not carrying his cell phone.
right. He might have just popped to the store to go get some milk. Who knows?
Right.
But, he'll get to you when he gets to you.
Right.
That's it.
Well, and this is the thing that gets me, and it drives me crazy. And we were talking new terms. POI.
Point of interest. I hate that. I hate that. I cannot understand my point of interest. You're talking about a human being? Who are
Is
you
it point
talking
of
about?
interest? I always thought it was person of interest. And the
Yeah,
first time it ran across my screen, because they normally use it
person of
in chat.
interest.
Yeah, they normally use it in chat. My POI. You know, will I see my POI this week?
POI is actually a legal term that cops use.
Exactly. So as soon as I came across my screen, I'm like, I work with cops, but I cannot do that on chat. Why are you calling Key and asking me where your suspect is?
I mean the guy I like. Yeah, they come up with these trending terms. They really drive me nuts.
Yeah, they drive me nuts. And the other one is I talked to another, and that one drives me nuts. And well, my other advisor says he's cheating. Well,
Okay,
that's cute. You called me, and it's not showing he's cheating. So who's cheating?
right,
Yeah,
right, exactly.
what do I know what this advisor saw? Is she, and I find this a lot with new advisors, and it drives me crazy every time
Yeah,
I have to coach one.
yeah,
They just read the fear level of things.
yes.
And it's like, oh my God, he didn't answer your text message within 5 minutes, so he has to be cheating? No.
No, 9 times out of 10, they're not cheating. Cheating happens, yes, all
Yes.
right, but in a regular, I'm dating this guy, and I've been dating him for about a month and a half. Is he cheating? Unlikely, because that's still a honeymoon period, number one.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right? And number two, it's unlikely. He doesn't need to cheat because he's not
Right.
the dynamic of the relationship doesn't make it necessary for him to cheat. If he wants to
Right.
be with someone else, all he has to do is be with someone else.
Right.
Right. On the other hand, if you're married to someone,
Mm-hmm.
you've got a years of investment and property investment and children investment and whatnot investment. Cheating makes more sense because now you've got something to lose if you're found out, and you've got to go about it in such a kind of a
Mm-hmm. Such a way. The
such a
other side
yeah,
of that, however,
yeah.
and I'm seeing this a lot now that we're starting to get back into swing after the big panini,
Right.
and jobs are now gone back to being, oh, we can demand you all the time because the government said that, they're allowed to do that now. And he's gone all the time. Okay. So I'm seeing work here. What's he doing? Well, he took a new job and he's working here and he's doing DoorDash and he's doing this and he's doing that. So you guys are having financial trouble. So he's working his ass to death and you think he's cheating. Well, he doesn't answer me all the time. He's working 4 or 5 gigs.
I know, right? They don't get it.
Yeah.
People don't get it. Another one that drives me nuts is I had one tonight. I understand that people are afraid. I was afraid when I was in relationships, and the more in love, the more afraid you are of losing the person because you can't control them.
Right.
You lose them, you lose them. So being in love is scary.
Mm-hmm.
So what some people like to do is perhaps if I can control this person, I won't lose them.
Right.
And they immediately forget that the male or female, whoever it is human.
Right.
And has their own thought process.
Right.
So they set out to control this person. I want to know exactly where you are, what you're doing, what you're eating, what you're wearing, who you're talking to, what street are you on, why did you tell me you were going out for milk when you went out? And it becomes like, and then they wonder why the person starts to become distant.
Right.
And then you play the good game of let me break up with this person to teach them a lesson so they'll come crawling back to me and do exactly what I want them to do, right?
Right.
So then they go, after treating this person like a moron, a brainless puppet,
right?
Then they end it, and then they wonder why they call me. And I haven't heard from my girlfriend for over a month, and we broke up.
Yeah.
I pick up, you ended it with him. Yes, I did. Why? He wasn't communicating, and he did this, he was doing that, and he spoke to the mother of his child, and he was living his life, and you ended it because he was living his life. Yes.
Well, yeah. Why was he over at his ex-girlfriend's house? Well, they got a child together.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. And she's gonna be in his life forever and a day. So you're probably better off dating someone who hasn't got kids.
All right.
You know,
the other part there is being okay that I'm sorry if you are a stepdad or you are a stepmom. That step is a big thing there. That means you're stepping up, but also stepping in.
Yeah. Well, you know what? 9 times out of 10, they're not step parents because that's a legal transaction to become a step parent.
Right.
What they are is the boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Right. And they want to take control of the situation, and they want the mother of the child out of the picture or the father of the child out of the picture. No, it doesn't work that way. You cannot. They're raising their kid, and they're going to co-parent that kid, and they're going to see each other and talk to each other. And yes, sometimes you won't be invited to things, family things like graduations and stuff like that, because it's a family event, and you're not part of that family dynamic.
Especially like in the first 2 months or 3 months you're dating this person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
let's take a break, and we'll come back and we'll talk some more about this.
Yeah. Go for it.
Hey everybody, Lady Gwendolyn here from Rowan Temple of Light, and I'm here to tell you about our events this summer. First up is Beltane in the Hills, May 13th, and that is from 1 to 6. We have entertainment, we have a bunch of vendors, we have a fairy photo shoot. It's going to be exciting. You having any questions, reach out to Earth Magic or to myself. After that, we have Central West Virginia Pagan Pride, August 19th. That's at Holly Gray Park from 11 to 5 for the day. And we will have Sarah Masters coming down from Pittsburgh to be our keynote speaker. We have some great classes for that. So if you want to get involved, reach out to Rowan Temple of Light at Gmail, or just follow us along on Facebook at Rowan Temple of Light, and we look forward to seeing you out in the community. See you there.
Welcome back, goblins! My name is Jason, and I am the host of the Esoteric Book Club, a podcast that examines titles on the magical, paranormal, the mysterious, and the strange. I release 2 episodes a month, in which I review books on esoteric topics, recap news of the weird, and conduct interviews with authors, practitioners, and experiencers. The Esoteric Book Club can be found on every major podcast service, or can be streamed directly from esotericbookclub.org.
Hi, I'm Aeson Knight. I provide tarot readings covering everything from love and relationships to your life questions and your most spiritual answers. And also, I provide a lot of guidance in finances and divorces and all those relationship problems. So, if you'd like to get a reading from me privately, not on air, you can feel free to do so by visiting aesonknight.com and booking your appointment. I also provide on-demand services, so if your life is a little chaotic, you can go ahead and click that Call Now button there on my site. It'll connect you to Keen, and if you've not been with Keen before, you'll get 3 free minutes to talk with me, so that's great for a quick answer question. All right, guys, back to the show. Enjoy. Bye, y'all.
Hi, I'm Tracy Van. I provide a blended reading consisting of mediumship, psychic, and tarot cards. A reading from me can cover any guidance you need from relationships with your partner or your family, spiritual, financial, any questions you may need clarity on. If you would like to book an appointment with me, check out my website, tracyvan.com. That's TRACYVANN.com. I have bookings from 15 to 60 minutes you may choose from. That helps if you just have a quick question, need an answer, or if you're looking for a reading in more depth, I'm here to provide the guidance and clarity for you. Let's just figure it out. Bye.
All right, welcome back. So you had your daughter young, and you,
24.
yeah, and you were dating with her.
I was dating.
With her.
Yes.
Yeah.
I dated a couple of guys here and there. Yes.
So when did you introduce them?
Some of them never.
Uh-huh.
A couple of the guys I dated already knew as friends prior, and they already knew I had a daughter, and they knew of her existence, so they met her.
Right.
Anyone knew the case? No, not right away. No, maybe never, or not unless I actually trusted them.
Right.
But it wasn't. Let me be honest about it. I didn't really date that much. I was raising my daughter. I did go through a phase in my 30s where I did date a few guys,
right?
Losers. She did meet a couple
experiments. I mean, we don't call them losers; we call them experiments.
Whatever.
Yeah.
and then I got into a fairly serious relationship, but that also fizzled out. And then there was nothing for a long time. And then I met the love of my life, who died. And
when did he meet your daughter?
He met my daughter when I moved to New York, because he came to visit me in New York.
Right.
And my daughter was already an adult.
Right. But when did he enter that family dynamic? 6 months, a year?
About that.
Yeah.
About 8 months, maybe.
Yeah.
Almost. It could be close to a year, because I met him in Australia. And stayed with him until I moved to New York. And then he visited me in New York, and then he went and died.
Right. Yeah. Completed his mission and got the hell out of here too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so, and I haven't dated anyone since.
Right, but you've been in that model. I've been on the other side of that, being the one dating, and the guys have kids.
Right.
I don't like meeting the kids up to the first 3 months. At least the first 3 months. Like, not even high. Like, no, you're meeting me when you get here.
Right.
Hi, Brenda. Grab your coffee, grab your drink, join us. We're talking about, when single parents start dating. And that boundary you need to put up. And I'm making it very plain. You're not entering my kid's lifetime. I'm sure you're stuck around.
Well, also, what you got to remember is important. It's not about so much meeting. It's okay for to let your kids meet people.
Right.
That's okay. It's how you're letting this child meet that person.
Right.
It's kind of like, this is a friend. Don't introduce them as, this is your new daddy, or this is Uncle Buck, or whatever, or mummy's boyfriend. This is a friend.
Right.
This is it.
Yeah.
And he's come to visit. He's going to have dinner with us. You don't have to like him. You don't have to be nice to him. He's just a friend of mine, and that's it. Right. And I wouldn't get to any shenanigans. Leave the sex out of it for a bit. You're an adult. You can wait. You're not 16.
Right.
You don't need to jump into bed just because he came over for dinner, whatever. So that way the kid knows, oh, yeah, mummy's got a friend or daddy's got a friend or whatever.
Right.
And no threat, no nothing. Another mistake some single parents make is they desperately want the kid to like the new person. The kid does not have to like the new person.
Right.
All right. That is not the kid's job.
Right.
The job is the new person is a friend. That's it. New person is not another parent.
Right.
Has no unless you give them permission to do so, but has no disciplinary rights. No, it doesn't have any of that.
Exactly.
Who is he? He's Johnny come lately. Your child that you chose to have, right, should be the most important person because you're now raising another human and a human being that has to be productive with their life,
right,
independent, strong, successful, and made to feel like they're valued and important. So what I find, unfortunately, is some women and men, whatever, put their kids second. And that relationship becomes the most important thing.
Right.
And so the kid has to like the guy or the girl or whatever, and if they don't, they get into trouble because they're not doing their job. They're not manipulating the situation in the way you want them to meet. So suddenly this 10-year-old or 5-year-old has to have the brain of a 30-year-old, an intelligent 30-year-old that can, understand abstract things and fix your relationship. I mean, they're using their kids as pawns, as weapons, as whatever. Don't have a kid because that's not what kids are for.
Right. The other part of that, however, in my opinion, is the person coming into the situation. They are not instant daddy or instant mommy.
They're not. And you've got to be very careful. And you've got to watch everything because you don't want to let a groomer into your house.
Well, you don't want to let a groomer into your house, but you also don't want to let someone in that has no relationship with the child. Seen him maybe once or twice, had a couple of dinners, and suddenly they're telling them that their new bedtime is 9 p.m.
Yeah, no.
Or they're grounded. No. They've got to build that relationship.
The person has to be brought in gradually.
Right.
He has to get to know the person. You have to get to know the person. That person might be an abusive asshole. You don't know. You don't know. And you've got to be so weary, and because unfortunately, step parents or boyfriends and girlfriends of parents are usually the abusers, whichever way. All right, they're usually the biggest abusers, unfortunately. Right. So
they are the opposite of that. They're normally the ones that are like, "You're not my kid. You can go to bed at 4 a.m. You have to, they may have a different parenting style."
Well, as soon as you say you're not my kid, screw you, that's abuse immediately.
Right. But, that mentality of, I don't care if you go to bed at 4 a.m. You're not mine. I don't have to worry about that.
Is abuse. Indifference is abuse. As soon as you're indifference is probably the worst kind of abuse because you're devaluing that person completely. They have you don't give a shit what happens to them.
Right. Or they want to be the new playmate.
Well, you got to be very wary. You got to be very careful.
As the parent, you got to be careful. As the one dating the single parent, you have to be careful.
Very careful.
You have to figure out the parent's style of parenting.
When I've met people's kids and I have met other people's kids, I stand right back.
Right.
And I like, hey, how you doing? That's it. I'm a friend.
Right.
If you don't want to be my friend, it's fine. I don't push anything.
Right.
I let things develop naturally because I know that the more I see this person, naturally things will develop.
Right.
You know, 'cause we'll get to talk more, or we'll get to interact a bit more. Or
Mhm.
and if they're very closed off, I stop
Right.
trying. Don't try.
Right.
They're closed off. They're closed up for a reason. They don't want to know me. Mum said something to them, or dad said something. So you know what? That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need you to be my friend,
Mm-hmm.
right? I need you to feel good about who you are and
Mhm.
comfortable. And I'm not going to intrude on your space or go, you know, break through your boundaries. You've set them, and I'm going
Right.
to respect that, because that's how kids learn respect.
Right.
By treating them with respect, and people just don't
Right.
seem to get that. Oh, my kid doesn't respect me. No, you don't respect your kid because they
Right.
don't know what respect is. They have no clue.
Right.
So you have to teach them respect. So you come into someone else's home, they got their kids there.
Mhm.
You've got to respect that family dynamic and not intrude on it. That's
Right. And that's true too. A lot of young children have issues with mommy and dad or daddy dating because it
Yes,
feels like if they like the new person, they're going to betray their other mom or dad who isn't there anymore.
right. Well,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, they are there.
Yeah.
You know, they're there, they're alive, they're well. They're usually a regular person, nice person, usually a good parent, you know, that want the best for their kids, and that's it. And they
Right.
may have concerns about who's around their kid, which
Right.
is normal, right? So kids are a difficult one. But
Right.
my most frustrating thing when it comes to other people's kids, right?
Mhm.
It's usually the women, unfortunately, that behave this way. Not so much the guys, but the women. They hate it. They want the mother of that child off the planet of Earth. They want that woman
Right.
gone, and they
Right.
want that kid in their lives, but they don't want the father of that kid to pay any attention to it.
Right.
You know, so they want to destroy any,
Right.
all of it. You can't do that.
No, you can't.
And
You can't get involved.
no,
That's the other thing, in my opinion, is if you are coming in as the boyfriend, girlfriend, or step parent, you can't get involved in that co-parenting because it's not your department.
and guys should know the same. If there's a father in the picture, there's a father in the picture, and that's it.
Right.
And if they don't like it, I always say to these people, if you don't like it, don't date people with children.
Right.
End of story. You
Right.
don't do it. You
Right.
know, and then some mothers, you know, I had a recent case where, how do I get the father of my child to give up his parental rights? Why on earth would you want the father? Because I met someone. So just because you met someone doesn't mean the father of your child has got no right. You know, you shouldn't have the right
Right.
in his life anymore, in your child's life anymore.
Right.
That person you met has to respect the fact that your child has a father who wants to be in that child's life, and there's nothing much you can do about it.
Right.
Because the
And
legal
you have to
system,
balance that.
yeah, and the legal system get involved, and then it could cause all sorts of problems for you.
Right.
And then I
And,
get one
you
star.
know, as
Sandie's so rude and terrible, and I hate her.
well, we get that all the time. Because we get the truth. And we'll probably talk about that after the break about feedback and some of the things. It's like, oh, give me a break. But from my point of view, you're not at the end of the day, even if you marry the parent, it has to be into that point of it's his kid. He has to make the decisions with the mother, and then you have to either back or advise.
You have to respect that.
Yeah.
And that's it. And the
Yeah.
irony of it all is if you respect that and
Mhm.
befriend the other parent
Right.
and make it a comfortable thing,
Mhm.
then what happens is happy families.
Yeah.
You get invited to the family gatherings, and everyone's starting to accept it, and you're part of the thing, and
Mhm.
and you start to feel a bit more comfortable.
Mhm.
But if you keep fighting it and fighting it and fighting it, you're going to destroy your relationship, number one, because no good parent is going to put another adult before their kid.
No good parent should.
Yeah, but they won't.
No parent should do that.
Yeah, no parent would do that. But there are, of course, as I mentioned earlier, there are parents, unfortunately, that do that.
Right. And then there are some parents out there that have different parenting styles.
Well, parenting style, that's a whole different thing again.
It
Parenting
is, but it's a
is-
real trouble when your
Yeah.
parenting style is different than the other parenting style.
that can happen if both parents
Right.
together.
Yeah.
You know, one parent might say, look, staying up late in gaming is okay. Occasionally, the other one's no, it's completely out of the question. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, yeah, it's okay to have a bit of social media. I was like, no, forget it.
Right. It's
Yeah,
like, I have the opinion that children, unless they are driving a vehicle, do not need a cell phone.
well, I feel that in New York City, my grandson needs a cell phone.
Right. But that's different than, here in West Virginia where half the time the cell phone don't work.
Oh,
Half the
well,
time,
as soon as cell phones came out, my daughter got a cell phone. She had a brick, and
Uh-huh.
and it helped me a lot.
Yeah.
And she was, especially when she was driving alone at night.
Yeah, there
And
you go.
we live in New York City, right in the Bronx,
Uh-huh.
and right next door to my grandson's high school is JFK High School, which is renowned for gang activity. The
Mm-hmm.
police are there every day.
Right.
Every day there was a child with a weapon running around the school halls. Recently, there was a lockdown.
Right.
He needs to have a cell phone.
He does because of how old is your grandson? I don't think we ever talked about that. Is he 17 now?
He's just turned 17, not last Tuesday.
Yeah. But when he was 10, he didn't need one.
Well, no, but he had one.
Yeah. But I'm
a big tech head. I don't mind him having tech stuff. I'm a big tech head. I love that.
And I get that, and I love that. But his childhood is a lot different than, say, some of these are living in suburban America. That don't need a cell phone. They don't need to be in that much contact.
I feel that I think cell phones are a great invention, and I think kids should have them. But I think that because they've got the location device on them, they've got all this stuff. It does put them in. It does help protect them a bit more.
Right, but that's the difference in that's a difference because style.
Yeah, and that there you go. And I like tech. And I like that he has tech. But I also tell him, we've had many talks, because I used to be a gamer as well.
Uh-huh.
I used to play Tomb Raider like crazy, and so it's kind of my fault he's a gamer.
Right.
And I used to ride a motorbike. I'm just a crazy grandma.
Yeah, you're still a crazy grandma. That's all right.
So
but no, coming into I have really different opinions than a lot of people. I don't think kids need social media until at least 13, and then it's with
social media
passwords and that your parent and it's a kid's account.
He doesn't have that much social media because I don't think he's allowed to have it yet. I don't think they're allowed to register yet. But I would have talks to him about gaming, about find the balance between your schoolwork and your gaming. You need to, you got to watch out who you talk to. So his mother and I, because we all live together, keep a very close eye on who he talks to.
Right.
We don't want him to get hurt.
Right.
Or anything. And touch wood.
Right.
It's been good. He's 17 now. He drives. He got his license. He drives really well. He's doing well in school. He's got a girlfriend.
Why does he need to drive in New York with the amount of public transportation you guys have? That's amazing.
Oh no, we don't, because we don't drive around Manhattan. We drive upstate. Upstate doesn't have as much transport.
Right.
Manhattan does, but then it's not. It doesn't have the best transport system. People think you do, but it does. We don't. In the Bronx, it's very difficult to get around. The Bronx is, there's what would take a 10-minute drive to get to by car is a 2-hour bus ride, because you got to change the buses and do this.
Right.
It's huge.
Right.
And getting around Manhattan, we live 15 minutes from Manhattan, but once you're in Manhattan, it's very easy to get around. You don't need a car at all in Manhattan. In fact, having a car is a hindrance in Manhattan.
Right.
But parking is a hassle here, because there are tons of buildings around, finding
Uh-huh.
parking. Oh my God. Then they got the opposite side street parking, and you got to park on that side instead because they're going to street clean. And
Uh-huh.
oh God, it's just,
It's insane. Whereas,
yes,
like
yeah,
here in
yeah,
West Virginia,
yeah,
you need card 16. You need card 15, you know,
yeah.
to get anywhere, to do anything. So it's a different environment. It's a different social setting.
But he wanted his license, so he got it. And I
Cool.
got my license as soon as in Australia, you have to be 18. As soon as I
Uh-huh.
turned 18, I got my license.
Mm-hmm.
I had to have it.
Right.
And he's not, he really can't drive alone until he turns 18.
Okay.
It's not like a junior license.
Okay.
But he drives. We let him drive on the highways and stuff. He's doing,
Mhm.
a really good job of it.
Very cool. Now, do you still drive?
Do I still drive? Yeah, I love
Okay.
driving. Yeah,
I just wondered.
yeah. We only
Yeah.
have one car though, so I have to make an appointment to have the car because my daughter takes it to
I
work.
understand that one. I understand that one a lot. All right, let's take our break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about some other psychic stuff.
Sure. Hi, this is Sandie Star. I'm a psychic and I work on Keen, and I have been working on Keen for over 22 years. You can reach me on 01068. I deal with a myriad of subjects, but I do specialize in relationships, marriages, divorces, is he cheating, is she cheating, whatever the dynamic of the relationship is, I will guide you through. I've got amazing radar for cheaters, so I will tell you the truth if he or she is cheating. I can help with any subject you need me to help you with besides relationships, and I look forward to hearing from you. Again, you can reach me through Keen. My extension number is 01068. I really look forward to hearing from you and helping you with whatever you need me to help you with.
Hi, I'm Tracy Van. I'm a psychic medium and I work with tarot cards. I also practice Reiki and access bars. I would like to share with you what a reading with me is like. It is a blended reading of psychic and mediumship, and I deliver these messages exactly as they come through. I'm not going to mince words or add any padding. I am a professional, reliable, and honest communicator. I have readings available anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour. You can book a reading with me at tracyvann.com. That's TracyVann.com. And no, I'll always tell you exactly what you need to hear.
Hey everybody, Natalie here from The Pendulum's Path. If you are in need of guidance, direction, spiritual connection, healing, or more, you have come to the right place. I have worked as a psychic and a medium for over 3 years, connecting people from all over the world with their loved ones, giving them insight and guidance into their current situations, their past healings, their blockages, and what they need to know in order for them to have a better future. It would be my absolute honor if you would come to my website at www.thependulumspath.com. Visit my shop. I have a whole bunch of crystals, oils, balms, mystery boxes, and more. And visit my services. I offer 15-minute, 30-minute, and 60-minute sessions. I also have email readings available if you're not comfortable with the one-on-one session with me, or if you just want to try me out. I encourage you to come visit me at the Pendulum's Path, and let's get you back on the right track today.
Hey everybody, Lady Gwendolyn here from Rowan Temple of Light, and I'm here to tell you about our events this summer. First up is Beltane in the Hills, May 13th, and that is from 1 to 6. We have entertainment, we have a bunch of vendors, we have a fairy photo shoot. It's going to be exciting. You having any questions, reach out to Earth Magic or to myself. After that, we have Central West Virginia Pagan Pride, August 19th. That's at Holly Gray Park from 11 to 5 for the day. And we will have Sarah Masters coming down from Pittsburgh to be our keynote speaker. We have some great classes for that. So if you want to get involved, reach out to Rowan Temple of Light at Gmail, or just follow us along on Facebook at Rowan Temple of Light, and we look forward to seeing you out in the community. See you there.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. So, our platforms, we both work team. That's no secret. They recently are changing some things. One of the things is their feedback policy. It used to be they gave you, I think, 2 weeks. No, originally it was you can go back and leave feedback whenever. Then they tightened it down to a month. Now they're tightening it down to a week, which I don't know if I'm happy with that because, sometimes things take longer to develop.
Well, some people may wait a week to leave feedback.
Right.
So if you've only got a week to, and they've left, is it from when they leave it, or a week from when you speak to them?
A week from when you speak to them.
Forget it. You're not going to ever get any feedback removed.
Right.
No matter how many profanities are in it.
Right.
You know?
Well, it's not just removed, but being able to even get it left.
Right.
Because you only have a week. The customer only has a week to leave feedback. I don't know.
Oh, if they only got a week to leave it,
yeah,
and it's good.
I don't think so. Because think about it. What are they going to get? Oh, it was a great call. Well, it took them like a month to get back together. So, what, they got to call back in a month to leave good feedback about that?
Yeah, well, actually, what I find can happen also, though, is say, look, I think he's going to reach out within maybe 10 days, and it happens to be 12 days.
Uh-huh.
So if it does on the 10th day, she was full of it. She doesn't know what she's talking about. On the 12th day, he reached out. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And I've had that happen where someone has left negative feedback. Then the thing happened and they came back in. They actually called me. They apologized. Right. They went back in and left. By the way, I left this negative feedback and it was all wrong because I was like, right? They need time to do all of that, right? Which that's why I didn't like to I did not at one time like to block people, but now I do.
Yeah.
Now
it doesn't get abusive. If I don't put up with abusive clients.
If I see that it's slanderous and I can prove it through a chat, and I look back at what they wrote and what's in the chat, and it's pure slander, I'll block that person.
Right.
Because I feel like they did it on purpose.
Right.
Right. If it's if it's just they weren't happy, I probably won't block them. But lately, I've been on a bit of a blocking rampage because I'm a little bit fed up because I sit there and I'll give them what I feel is a good quality reading, and I give them very clear, very concise, honest answers. And just because they're not wanting to hear the truth of the dynamic of their situation, I don't think that warrants negative feedback.
Right. I would agree. If there's a reading and the reading is just terrible, and believe me, I've QA'd readings before, and there are some that are terrible. I think that deserves it. But
if I can't connect to the person, I can't connect to them. No, but I tell them, look, there's a blockage here. I'm not connecting to you. Something's not feeling good.
Right.
And sometimes I may have to end the reading early because it's just not working.
Right. But at the same time, the other part of that is it's not connecting. It's like the customer just isn't your thing.
Yeah.
Like,
look,
I can't read on medical. We're not allowed to read on legal.
Right.
When's he coming home from jail? Well, that's legal.
Exactly. He's going to go to jail. That's legal.
That's legal. Am I pregnant? I'm not a rabbit.
Yeah.
Go ask a rabbit.
Go ask a doctor.
Yeah.
The pharmacy, Rite Aid, Dwayne Reed, they sell pregnancy tests, which are cheaper than the reading.
Exactly.
All I have to do is walk into Rite Aid or Walgreens and buy a test and take a test.
Yeah.
I just tell them, unfortunately, I cannot answer legal questions. I cannot answer medical questions. I can't tell you if you're pregnant. I cannot tell you if you're going to be pregnant. I can't do any of that. I leave it alone. That's it. But look, I've had 1 stars. Of course I have, and I haven't blocked everybody that's given me 1 star. But lately, I've noticed, like, if you make one little mistake, in the way you're reading them.
Uh-huh.
A minor little error or a typo, or they're very quick to become aggressive and attack.
Right.
I've noticed lately there are a few more attack dogs out there than there used to be.
Well, I noticed that is more so tending to be, and this is a bad thing of the industry, readers coming after you if you're working with their clients. And the clients like you better.
What are you going to do?
You keep reading.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, this industry has always been a shark industry.
It has been.
There are people that are jealous of us. There are people that are jealous of me because I do a lot of things. And they'll get all upset about it. And it's like, no, I do a lot of things. I'm busy doing a lot of things. I'm busy, in different networks and different companies, and they don't like that.
It kind of makes me feel good that I'm working with you, and you can help me in a constructive way because of your experience.
Well, not only that, but it's more so not only in a constructive way, but I will literally look at you and go, Sandie, that ain't gonna work. That's something that's really weird is working with people's tones in text.
Exactly.
And saying, no, Sandie, that sounds negative. That doesn't sound, 20 years ago that sounded amazing.
Yeah, but I think I appreciate that because I need, you need to.
Mm-hmm.
I like critical,
right,
criticism that's constructive criticism. Old saying, right?
Right.
You're not going to learn anything if you're not prepared to change anything or listen to it someone.
Exactly.
You can't learn or evolve if you're not prepared. Like for example, I'm not a doctor.
Right.
Right. I didn't go to university for 7 years. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when a doctor tells me something, I respect the fact that person has the experience and the knowledge.
Right.
To say it. I respect what you say because I respect the fact that you have the experience and knowledge because you have your fingers in different industries.
Right. And different industries I see performing differently. And it's one of those, it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. But, people get very stuck on that, especially clients when they come to me and they say, well, he's a loser. Why is he a loser? Well, he doesn't do X, Y, and Z. Did you ask him to do X, Y, and Z? No, you should know how to do that. No, not really. You've got to train or teach them how to treat you the same way you got to treat, and especially, when you get people that have come out of dysfunctional relationships, and this taps your psyche, your psychology side. When you get people that come out of dysfunctional relationships, they grew up in a single mother, single father household. They never saw, or even worse, two parents that hated each other. So they never saw a healthy relationship, which we have a lot now. And then you get them, and they've already been through 3 or 4 bad marriages, maybe 2 or 4 bad relationships. They're dysfunctional as heck. You've got to teach people how to treat you. And people don't get that.
You got to teach people how to treat themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't understand. They keep. Every relationship is different.
Right.
And I don't go with the if you have a low self-esteem, you're going to attract negative people.
Right.
I don't go with that because nearly everybody on the planet has low self-esteem. Everyone's insecure about something about themselves. No one's 100% confident, right?
Right.
Like for example, how I am now. When I was at university, I was a shaking wreck when I got in front of the class and had to do.
Right.
Yeah, right. Now I could do it with my eyes closed. I couldn't care less.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I couldn't care if someone in the back was laughing. I couldn't care.
Right.
But that was me. That was me working on me. That wasn't me interacting. Right. What's a loser relationship? What's a loser person? What's a bad person? Anyone can be a bad person. They don't have to be poor and a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They can be wealthy and a criminal.
Or they can be wealthy and just miserable in their life.
Right. And there's a common misconception about marrying someone wealthy. You don't want to marry someone wealthy. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you marry someone wealthy, There's a prenup without
Right.
doubt. 1. 2, they have the power to destroy you.
Well, and I'll go 3 there.
Oh, you don't want to marry someone wealthy because you don't know who they're connected to, what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You're better off staying, unless you're wealthy. If you're wealthy, marry someone wealthy because then you have your own connections. But if you come from
Mm-hmm.
somewhere like a not wealthy background and you marry someone wealthy, be careful.
Well,
Trust me.
right.
People always say,
The other page of that, and this is the other thing, and it's, there's many people out there that are very, affluent and have money and stuff, but they're miserable.
that's true. They're very miserable. At least they're suffering in comfort.
Well, depending. I mean, it's
That's my
comfort
point.
today,
That's my point.
but
They're
it's a
miserable
prison
people.
for
They're
them.
miserable people. So
Right.
if you marry one of them and something goes wrong, they have the kind of power that can screw you over.
Right. But, can you imagine dating, and I'll go ahead and throw a name out there, Johnny Depp, who
Wow.
can't leave his house, who can't, has to have security everywhere.
I couldn't live like that. I
No,
have to go.
no.
I like to go for a walk, not worry about it,
Right.
But I have, being in New York City, I have walked past movie stars.
Right. I mean, movie stars doesn't faze me. I've read for too many of them. They have so many
they're
problems.
walking down the street like nothing's going on. There's no
Exactly.
security. I've stood in elevators. I don't do anything. They don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't say anything. They don't say anything.
Right. But can you imagine trying to date someone that is that stressed out, that pushed to the edge, that much locked into their life, that they just...
That's why you have to be on their level. That's why actors marry actors and have that dynamic, because they understand each other.
Or they've got to be ride or dies.
Are they going to be what?
Ride or die wives or husbands. A good example there is Ice-T's wife. She met him when he was hustling stuff out of the back of his truck.
Right.
She has been there for the good times, been there for the bad times, but she controls that situation.
Well, he lets her.
Well, he lets her control it, but at the same time, she knows, we've got to manage the finances, what if you don't get another acting job? Like, she isn't pulling any stunts.
They grew together. They've got a dynamic that works for them. He loves her. He lets her do that. She enjoys doing it. So that they've got a good dynamic worked out. And
another power couple.
Yeah, that's growing together. That's becoming wealthy together. That's different.
Yeah. Well, Ozzy and Sharon.
Who?
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
And Sharon.
Yeah.
That's another couple that grew up
together.
Ride or die. He has Parkinson's now, so he's in full care.
Yeah.
Everything. But she is, she went in and went, all right, you can be a little, you can go do your rock star thing, but you're going to make money, and I'm going to make sure that you do it right, and we're going to have a family.
Yeah.
But people always want to date these people, but they don't see the complications that comes with it.
Not unless you work with it. Not unless you grow with it. Not unless you're in the same circle.
Mm-hmm.
Another example, a girl, I want to marry someone rich. I said, well, then go get your education. If she's very young, like she's 18 or something.
Right.
Get educated. Get a really well-paying job.
Mm-hmm.
Work your way up. Get rich. Then you hang out with the rich people. Then you marry someone rich.
Well, that, or you marry someone that isn't, but that can be a ride or die.
Yeah. But some of these power couples did work together and grow together and build their wealth and their fame together. That's different from just, I want to marry someone rich scenario. Yeah. Because that wealthy people can be very dangerous people.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter who it is.
Right.
They can be dangerous. That's because they've got connections.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, this is leading to the end of our show, but we're giving you a preview of the next time me and Sandie have coffee and tea. We're going to talk about dating a psychic and a public figure, because that's a different ball game altogether.
Dating a psychic is impossible. But I just want to say, before we go, there's my big book. When I mentioned that big spell book I had,
Mm-hmm.
there it is.
Awesome.
I dragged it off the bookshelf.
Cool.
90,000 spells that I haven't tried yet.
Oh, we're going to get you onto that one. All right, guys. If you want to reach Sandie, where can they get you, Miss Sandie?
On Keen, and my extension number is, I remember it,
Awesome.
01068.
Yeah. And you can reach me either at aesonknight.com, or I am on Keen, and you can reach me at 01446. Wow, that is such a different extension number than I have programmed into my brain. We hope you guys have enjoyed eavesdropping in on our conversations. And remember to like where you're watching us at. Follow that and keep up with us, because we have a lot of fun things coming on. All right, guys, I do want to take a moment and thank the station's baristas. Thank you, Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda Bryant, Shannon C, Shannon D, Lady Gwendolyn, Charles Shaw, Dottie the Psychic, Tracy Vaughn, Caitlin Bell, and Devin. If you want to learn more about being a Patreon and being part of Team Barista, you can visit pcspnetwork.com, and you can also connect with us there. You can book appointments or get on our on-demand series there. So with that, guys, we will talk to you later. Bye.
See ya.